Nice to meet you. So we're just waiting for our sergeant to come over, and we'd like to go through your house. Are you okay with us searching through your house? All right. We'll have you sign a consent form. We just want to see if you left a note or anything inconspicuous, something like that.
All right.
She said she was going to a friend's house with the kids. I have no idea where they went. These are the words of a desperate husband or a cold-blooded killer. In less than 48 hours, this man's lies would unravel, revealing one of the most shocking family murders ever caught on camera. What you're about to see is real footage, police body cams, interrogation videos, and security cameras that captured a psychopath's performance. This is the story of how a family of 4 became 3 victims and 1 monster. August 13, 2018, Frederick, Colorado. A wealthy oil worker's wife and 2 little girls have vanished without a trace. But watch this man closely, because you're witnessing an Oscar-worthy performance from a man who knows exactly where they are.
Have you tried to contact any of them?
Oh yeah, we've exhausted every option. The last thing I'm going to do is hospitals. Hotels. There's so many, but...
And no one's heard from her today? Have you checked your bank accounts?
That's another thing I was going to do, because I don't have access through here.
Let's go check those and see if she pulled any cash out or if there's any strange charges or anything.
Okay.
Can you log?
I can't log in because she does all the finances.
Okay.
This is Christopher Watts. Notice his body language. The fake concern. The rehearsed answers. What you're seeing is pure evil wearing the mask of a worried husband. But his performance has cracks, and the police are starting to notice. Just hours earlier, Shanann Watts had returned from a business trip, excited about her pregnancy and her thriving career with Thrive Promotions. She had no idea she was walking into her own execution. Shanann was everything Chris wasn't. Successful, outgoing, confident. She made more money than him, had more friends, and wasn't afraid to show their life online. To a narcissist like Chris, this wasn't love, it was competition, and he was losing. But there was another reason Chris wanted his family gone. Her name was Nicole Kessinger, and she had no idea she was dating a family man. Chris had told her he was separated, going through a divorce. The affair had been going on for months, and Chris was addicted to his new life. On August 12th, Shanann texted a friend. "Chris told me last night he's done. He doesn't love me anymore." She was trying to save her marriage. She had no idea she was begging for her life. Every killer makes mistakes. Chris Watts made several. But his biggest mistake? He didn't know his neighbor had a security camera pointed directly at his driveway. This is Nate Trinistic, Chris's neighbor. What he's about to show police will blow Chris's story apart in real time. Watch Chris's face as his lie crumbles before his eyes.
And you know it's still right because it's Friday.
But that could have been the sensor as well. It says it was shut during the day, but I think when Nikki's son, he may try to move the door around, maybe when they were trying to get in the garage door, and it probably broke the laser there. Because my alarm started going off.
Well, I know he said the front door he tried going in, but he had the lock up.
That's for
Look at that timestamp. 5:27 a.m. Nate's camera captured Chris loading something heavy into his truck. Chris claimed Shanann and the girls left after he went to work at 5:15 a.m. But the camera doesn't lie. At 5:27, Chris is still at home, alone, loading what investigators now believe were the bodies of his family. Watch Chris's reaction when he sees this footage. This is the moment a psychopath realizes his perfect plan is falling apart. You can see him calculating, trying to come up with a new lie, but it's too late. The police are getting suspicious, but Chris keeps digging his hole deeper. He agrees to take a polygraph test, confident in his ability to lie. Big mistake. Meanwhile, Shanann's friend Nicole Atkinson was already raising hell. She knew something was wrong when Shanann missed a doctor's appointment. Shanann never missed appointments. Nicole had been calling, texting, and when no one answered, she drove to the house and called police. While Chris was putting on his show for police, Shannon's body was already decomposing in a shallow grave at his workplace, and his daughters were stuffed inside oil tanks. The clock was ticking, and his performance was about to end. August 14th. Chris Watts walks into the Frederick police station, still believing he can lie his way out of this. He's about to discover that modern police work doesn't rely on just gut feelings. They have science. This is the polygraph examination that destroyed Chris Watts. Watch as investigators hook him up to machines that can detect his lies. But here's the thing about psychopaths, they often believe their own lies. Chris actually thought he could beat this test. The questions start simple: name, age, address. Then they get specific. Do you know where your wife is? Did you hurt Bella? Did you hurt Celeste? With each lie, the machines record his body's betrayal.
Are you now in the state of Colorado?
Yes.
Before 2018, have you ever wanted to hurt someone to get even with them?
No.
Do you know where Shanann is now?
No.
This portion of the test is complete. Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation. All right, how'd you feel? Same with all of it?
I think it was the same to everything.
For ya.
Failed. Spectacularly. Chris didn't just fail the polygraph, he obliterated it. The deception indicators were off the charts, but still, he maintains his innocence, still playing the grieving husband.
So, you obviously are a really bad liar. Have people told you that before? Like, the second you tell a lie, like, they can tell, like, on your face that, because the second you lied to the number 3, like, I don't know if you heard me clicking, but I had, like, turned down the sensitivity because you were starting to go off the page. So, that is what I need to see as a polygrapher, because that tells me that you know it's wrong to tell a lie, and you're actually having a significant reaction when you lie. So that is awesome. So thank you for being a horrible liar. No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
This is when Detective Tammy Lee and Agent Coder take over. 2 seasoned interrogators who have seen every type of killer. They know Chris did it. Now they just need to make him admit it. Watch this interrogation carefully. You're about to see a masterclass in breaking down a narcissistic killer. They start by showing Chris sympathy, understanding. They make him comfortable. It's a trap.
There's a reason you feel sick to your stomach. And when people hold stuff inside, it makes you physically ill. And I can just tell on your face, I could tell from the second you walked in that you were wanting to just come clean and just be done with this. And I appreciate that.
Chris, we know you love your girls. Something happened that night, didn't it? Was it Shanann? Did she hurt the girls? They're giving him an out, a story he can tell himself to justify what he did. And slowly, Chris starts to bite. After hours of interrogation, Chris Watts finally breaks, but what comes out of his mouth is somehow worse than silence. He's about to confess to murder, while still trying to play the victim.
They're blue. Both of them. Yeah. She took both of them with that. I freaked out when she hit me.
She hurt them. I freaked out, and I did the same thing to her. This is Chris's first confession. He claims Shanann killed the girls, so he killed her in a rage. It's a lie designed to make him look sympathetic, a grieving father who snapped, but investigators aren't buying it. Even in his confession, Chris can't tell the truth. He's still manipulating, still trying to control the narrative, but the evidence doesn't support his story. The autopsy results will later prove that Chris killed everyone himself. Chris leads police to the Anadarko petroleum site, where he dumped the bodies. Shanann was buried in a shallow grave, but Bella and Celeste, he stuffed their small bodies through 8-inch openings into oil tanks filled with crude oil. The smell was so bad that investigators had to take breaks. But even after confessing, Chris continued to lie. It would take months and another confession before the real truth came out. And that truth is more horrifying than anyone imagined. In February 2019, Chris finally told the complete truth to investigators. He killed Shanann first, strangling her in their bedroom. Then he loaded her body into his truck. But Bella and Celeste were still alive. They woke up and asked where Mommy was.
You mentioned Bella was first. Cece was first, okay. Where exactly was she when it happened?
In the back seat.
Okay, was she just right next to Bella?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so once again, was it a hand over her face? Was it?
It was a blanket over and my hand.
And then your hand, okay. And then so that just stopped her from breathing type thing? Okay, did she struggle at all?
I don't think so, but I was blocking her face and my hand was right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had one hand here and one hand over her mouth?
And we're just pushing her against the back of the seat type thing? Okay. What was Bella doing?
She was sitting there next to it. She didn't know what was going on.
Okay. Could she see you? Okay. Tell me about what you were thinking.
I was thinking this would have happened.
Yeah.
Or any partial hint of what I feel for those girls and what I feel for my wife, but none of this would have happened, so I wasn't thinking.
Okay. So she's in the back seat. Okay. And then once she's gone, then is it Bella next, or did you pull Cece out?
I pulled Cece out. Okay,
so once Cece's gone, Bella's still there in the car alive, and then you pulled Cece out. What'd you do with her? Okay. So she went into the tank, and Bella was still in the back of the truck alive. Okay. With regard to that tank, did you bring up Cece, put her down, open the hatch?
Brought her up, opened the hatch.
And then put her in. Okay. And then went down to Bella. Tell me what happened there.
She said what happened to Cece. Or she asked, it was the same thing, the exact same thing that happened to me as Cece.
Did she ask you that? Okay. So Bella's pretty smart. How did she sound when she asked you that, Chris?
She had that soft voice she always had.
Yeah. And what exactly did she say?
She said exactly the same thing that happened to me as Cece. And then I said, I don't even remember what I said.
Okay.
I don't know what I said, if I just said yes like a horrible person, or if I just put that blanket over her too and did the same thing.
Same blanket, same way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She said, no, Daddy. And that's the last thing she said.
Chris drove his daughters to the oil site with their mother's body in the back of the truck. At the site, he killed 4-year-old Bella first. According to his confession, 3-year-old Celeste watched her sister die before Chris murdered her too. The final sickening detail: Bella fought back. She scratched her father, bit her tongue. This little girl knew what was happening and fought for her life against the man who was supposed to protect her. November 19, 2018, Chris Watts appears in court for sentencing. The man who killed his pregnant wife and 2 young daughters is about to learn his fate.
So the court is going to sentence Mr. Watts as follows. With regard to count number 1, murder in the first degree as it relates to Shanann Watts, the court is going to sentence you, sir, to a life sentence in the Colorado Department of Corrections, followed with no possibility of parole.
Shanann's family fills the courtroom. Her father, Frank Redzikek, delivers a victim impact statement that brings grown investigators to tears. I trusted you to take care of my daughter and granddaughters, and you killed them.
I trusted you to take care of them, not kill them. And they also trusted you. The heartless monster, and then you take them out like trash. You disgust me. They were loving and caring people. You may have taken their bodies from me, but you will never take the love they had from me.
Life in prison without the possibility of parole. 5 life sentences plus 48 years. Chris Watts will die behind bars, and he will never see the outside world again. But for the families, no sentence can bring back Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and baby Nico. We saw the body camera footage of Chris's performance. We watched his lies unravel in real time. We witnessed a confession from a family annihilator. In an age where we question what's real and what's fake, the Watts case provided something terrifying: absolute clarity about human evil. Chris Watts is currently serving his sentence at Dodge Correctional Institution in Wisconsin. He spends 23 hours a day in his cell in protective custody. He receives fan mail from disturbed individuals who somehow see him as a victim. The man who destroyed his family now lives in a concrete box, and that's exactly where he belongs. The Watts family murders remind us that evil doesn't always look like a monster. Sometimes it looks like a neighbor, a coworker, a husband. It smiles at you, lies to your face, and destroys everything you love. Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and baby Nico deserved better. They deserve to live.